We are going to begin by setting up a basic document in Adobe InDesign. And I'm just going to kind of cover some of the basics here. So I have my new document window up, and I'm going to create a print document. So first thing I want to do is select print. And by selecting this tab, not only does it give us access to a variety of different pre-built page sizes, but it also sets all the appropriate color spaces within the document for a file that'll be suitable for print when we're done. So I've selected print, and I'm just going to, over here on the sidebar, I can change my units to inches, which is what we're going to work with to start with. And then I'm going to set a document to 7.5 inches wide by 9 inches tall. And I want to set up a multi-page document here, and it's going to be a book. So I'm going to set up a number of pages. I'm just going to start with 4. We'll add more pages later. And I'm going to leave facing pages checked. And what this is going to do is whenever we open up the document, it's going to show us our pages in a side-by-side format, much like we would read the book. So 4 pages, facing pages. And then we're going to leave the margins alone. But one thing I do want to take a moment to set is our bleed. And as we're doing our layout, if we have color or images that go to the very edge of our page, it can't stop there. That has to do with the printing process. So we need to actually extend that color or that image beyond the edges of the page to be sure that when it gets cut, that I don't have any white edges around the outsides of my pages. So the industry standard for that is 1/8 of an inch. So I'm just going to take time now to set that, and that way I don't really need to worry about it later. So I've got my 7.5 by 9 inch document created, 4 pages, facing pages, margins. One more point about margins. Like I said, we're leaving these alone to start with, but the margins are what define our live area within our document. And I have another document that'll describe that. But basically, 1/2 inch all the way around means that we're going to have a live area of only 6.5 inches by 8 inches. And that's the area that all of our copy content or our readable content is going to stay inside of. So margins, bleed, and we're just going to say create. And here we have our document. But if we open our pages panel, you'll see that we have 4 pages. Our cover, inside, and our back. Think of an 11 inch by 17 inch by 11 inch sheet of paper folded in half. That's what we have here. And I didn't put any columns into this or anything to that effect, but this is our basic page setup. And we can add more pages to this as we go. We're going to want to add several more spreads, and we can add other parent pages, which we're going to talk about here in a moment. And parent pages are important for setting up common elements throughout all of our pages, as well as page numbering. So to start with, I'm working in the typography layout. I kind of like to work in this layout. It gives us a status bar up here along the top, which will change based upon the tools that we have selected. And it gives us a good set of tools to work with over here along the right-hand side. Since this is a large book, we're going to be working with type quite a bit. So having quick access to our character and paragraph styles and formatting dialog boxes is kind of important. So let's take a look at the Pages panel real quick. This shows the layout of our document. And if you'll notice, this top area, by default, everything above this light gray line, this indicates our parent pages. Everything below the gray line are the actual document pages. So if we look here, you'll see that there's a little A in the corner of each of these pages. What that tells us is that a parent is applied to those. And when we create a new document in InDesign, by default, InDesign creates this first parent page for us. We can add as many more as we want, but it starts us out with one. So we're going to use a parent to actually define some common areas on our document. It also creates this none page, which is just a default page, and there's no formatting whatsoever applied to that. And we're going to leave that alone because it may be that generally what I do is I'll use none for my front cover and my back cover because those usually are their own layout independent of the inside pages. And if I want to apply a different parent page to one of my document pages, all I need to do within this Pages panel is go and select that page I want to apply and drag it down on top of the thumbnail. And you see that A goes away. And I'm going to do that with page 4 as well. So now I have a completely blank slate for my front cover and my back cover.